Performing a bacterial smear allows us to observe the bacteria under a microscope. This procedure will kill bacteria and allow it to adhere to the surface of the glass microscope slide. We can then stain and observe the morphology of the bacteria. This is often the first step in identifying bacteria. First, remove a clean microscopic slide from a box of slides. Label the frosted portion of your slide with a pencil. Marker will rinse off when alcohol is applied later. On the label, put the name of the bacteria, your initials, your class section number, and the date. That way it could be returned to you if you leave it on the microscope, something that happens more often than you'd think. Draw a wax circle about the size of a dime. This will be your target, and we'll show you later where to look for it. Light the Bunsen burner and adjust the air intake until you can clearly see the inner cone of the flame. Lightly flick or agitate the culture tube to mix the broth to ensure the bacteria are resuspended in the tube. Loosen the cap on the bacterial culture tube. Flame your loop, beginning at the portion of the wire closest to the handle and ending at the tip of the loop. You should see that the wire and loop turn red as they're fully heated. Remove the wire loop from the flame. Wait briefly for it to cool. It's important the loop has a brief cooling period before placing it in the culture broth. If the wire is too hot, the bacteria to be transferred will be killed. Open the bacterial broth tube and hold the cap with your pinky finger. Briefly pass the open top of the glass tube through the flame to kill any microorganisms that may be contaminating the opening of the tube. These could potentially contaminate the culture broth. Carefully dip your loop into the broth. There should be a film across the loop. Even if there's not a film, there are still bacterial cells present. If you hear a sizzling sound, your loop was too hot. Remove the loop and flame the opening of the tube again to eliminate any microorganisms that may have been introduced accidentally. Replace the cap and return the culture tube to the wire rack. Bring the tube to the cap, taking care to minimize movement of the loop. Place the microscope slide on the bench top. Aseptically transfer the loopful of bacteria from your broth and spread it inside the circle. Wait 5 to 10 minutes for the slide to dry completely. When there's no longer a droplet visible on the slide, and the slide has had sufficient time to dry, you may heat fix the slide. First, use an oversized clothespin to hold the microscope slide. Do not hold the glass microscope slides in your bare hands. When the glass is heated, you'll burn your hands. Pass the bacterial smear slide back and forth slowly 3 times through the flame. Allow the slides to cool for 5 minutes. You may now safely store or begin a procedure to stain the bacterial cells.